Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we've reached week 5 in the NFL and Thursday night football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Kevin Rogers and Holden Kushner with you as we take a look at this matchup. And at least it's not Broncos-Jets, which is a good thing. But you get Tom Brady in prime time against a Chicago team coming off its first loss of the season, Holden, and the Bucs come in as a 5.5-point favorite.
Yeah, this is interesting. 5.5 points on the road, and the Bucs are going to be really banged up offensively. They're down to Ronald Jones and Keyshawn Vaughn, which actually I'm interested to see if Vaughn takes a role in this offense coming up. Tom Brady, the 349 and 5 touchdowns last week is terrific, but Chris Godwin, not looking like he's going to play. Evans is really, really banged up. That's his 2 big wide receivers. O.J. Howard now on IR with an Achilles rupture. But then you go to the Bears offense, Kevin. We can come back and talk a little bit after I get your thoughts. But Nick Foles, they scored 11 points last week, 8 in garbage time. I keep saying this is not a good quarterback. This is like if he was a starting quarterback coming into the season, we probably would have ranked him in the bottom 7 or 8, right? It's the only team without a rushing TD. Their offensive line is a disaster. That's just the offensive side, Kevin. I think they're going to have problems with this Tampa Bay defense.
And the Tampa Bay defense, Holden, I understand against Denver that they have no quarterback and they held them to 10 points. I get that. But even against New Orleans, the 34 points was very misleading. That the Bucs defense played very well. They limited Alvin Kamara to under 20 yards rushing in that game. Drew Brees did not look good. Brady had the pick 6, so that obviously helped New Orleans in the points department. But the defense has been very good. And you look at Chicago's defense, and understandably they played the Giants, whose offense is terrible, but they held the Giants to 13. They still held the Colts to 19, so to an early touchdown and 4 field goals. So that's good. You go on the Foles point. Look, I know that they had issues going into the season, that Trubisky they really didn't want to trust. He was terrible for most of that first game at Detroit. Then they came back and won, so made it look good. They beat a Giants team that Saquon Barkley got hurt. They beat an Atlanta team who's now 0-4, and they came back late, and they lose to a good Colts team. So it's just going to be hard to see Chicago put up points against the Tampa Bay defense, but also Chicago's defense has played better at home than they have on the road.
Yes, that's another thing. I was saying watching this game last week, though, that I don't think the Bears are even a playoff team. They really are struggling. They're not going to be able to run the ball. The Bucs run defense 64.3 yards per game. Even if they're up, even if it's neutral game, their teams just aren't running well against them. I think there's a defensive struggle. The problem I have with the Bears defense right now, though, although I think it's spectacular, they're not causing turnovers. They're not going to be able to get the pressure on Brady in all likelihood because the Bucs offensive line is just elite. Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, these are monsters that have only forced 4 turnovers this year. 5.5 is a lot, Kevin, but I think we're both on the same play this week.
Yeah, it's tough to make an argument for the Bears. I can't do it, but also I don't want to lay the points with Tampa Bay, even though we know Tampa Bay is a better team than Chicago, clearly, and that quarterback and a lot of other places. But we're both going to look at the total in this game. And Holden, your thoughts on what you like with the total?
Well, yeah, it's just, again, this is an inept Chicago offense. And I think Tom Brady, listen, was nice last week. He's going to have a couple blow-up games this year. And he's not noodle arm. He's not washed. He's still a good quarterback. But these are 2 spectacular defenses, both teams with major questions offensively. And despite the fact that the NFL has had more points scored in the first 4 weeks this year than any time during the Super Bowl era, and I can't imagine before the Super Bowl era when all they did was run up the middle 55 times that they scored any more back then, right? 2 offenses that are going to struggle against 2 really good defenses. Don't keep hitting the over this week. This is an under for me, and I think you got to get in early in the week as I see it dropping.
Yeah, it opened at 45, and now it's down to 44.5. And what's funny is we saw a lot of overs in the 1 o'clock games this past Sunday. That changed a bit in the later games. We saw that Giants-Rams game stay under, and also the Colts-Bears. And then you look at Monday night with the Patriots-Chiefs was a clear under. Packers-Falcons had a huge total, stayed under. So it's kind of evening out a little bit, and I don't know if people want to go back to the over. We saw an over the Broncos-Jets easily last week. And we saw it 2 weeks ago with the Browns and the Bengals, and the week 3 with Miami and Jacksonville. could have hit the over, but it stayed under late. So maybe this time it goes back under. I'm on the under as well. I just can't see the Bears scoring. The Bucs defense is very good. And again, Chicago's defense has done enough at home, but also their offense has been terrible at home. So I just can't make a case for points in this game for either side. So to recap our picks for this Thursday night between the Bucs and the Bears, both Holden and I are going to be on the under of 44.5. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Vegas Insider. And also check out some of our videos later in the week. We have Sunday Night Football, Vikings, Seahawks, Monday Night Football, Chargers, and the Saints, the Drew Brees Bowl in the Superdome. And also we have our contest picks as well. We'll release later in the week with Holden and I giving out 5 picks for the weekend in the NFL. For Holden Kushner, I'm Kevin Rogers. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with your bets.